some coach, we won't know who, right? Called him Walsh. Had a great year for us. He had a very difficult time making weight this year. Undersized. Really did all good. Good job. All the way through. All the way through. Dylan, you're right. I came up with a couple years ago. This year we had approximately wins for that. But every time we got a win, we could dismiss one of our non-attendants. So that way they would still be eligible for the All-Lion team. Because this year we would have had 11 opportunities for that. But he only missed one. So honorable mention to our All-Lion team, Andrew Carlson. This was his first time playing a team sport, okay? Can't tell you how proud I am of the decisions he made throughout the year, okay, to stick it out. And I'm going to let you know, not everybody that began the year with us is here today, okay? So that's a credit to each one of these boys that are still left standing, especially after what we put them through in August. Actually, what Coach Nate puts them through all year. Troy Massey, come on up here. As part of the concept of being in the junior Pee Wee division, what I used to do down in the Mighty Mighty division, each kid got an individual award. All right, maybe some of you parents remember that, you know, your son got best running back or whatever it is. Well, that has to end because when you're part of the competitive level in the junior Pee Wee, you're not allowed to do that allegedly. But verbally, you can give recognition. And right now, I'm going to verbally recognize our most improved rookie player. When you see where he came from at the beginning of the year, what you're asked to do. The most difficult thing you can do in all of sports is play the position of quarterback. Okay? When you have to play the position of quarterback and you've never played football before, that's, you know, twice as hard. Then you add to it that you're left-handed and well, you're shooting. Oh yeah. Okay? But as far as that goes, one of the most impressive performances of most improved rookie throughout the year by season's end, where he was. What do you think, Coach? Definitely most improved rookie, Liam Hart. They're a different breed all to themselves, those kids. We have a player right here, another rookie player. If I were to give out an award, I would call him Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay? Started for us on our first team offense. He anchored our second team offense, and through injury to some kids that we won't name, kind of had extra playing time and came in and played extremely well. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Grayson Pasquini. All right, last rookie, final rookie. Again, oh, we have more rookies? All right. Sorry. Well, it doesn't matter. Defensive Rookie of the Year, where I give that award out. At the beginning of the year, this player, I told him no player on the team besides my own son, which, by the way, is the most difficult thing to do is to play for my dad. So you get another kid that you know very well, okay, and you can treat him kind of like your own kid. Pick on him, you know, call him bad names. And I did, especially because I had coached him before. And versatility is the one thing that I think of when I think of this player. For the number of things he was asked to do, for never having played football before, okay? Just, we'd be down at the baseball field and he's running around and he's tackling everybody, you know? And he used to play some football. He came out, he tried it out this year. Coaches unanimously agree. Definitely defensive rookie of the year. Cam Gothberg, where are you? Right over here, left over there. A couple of guys here, and this boy, okay, had a battle through concussion for us. He came up, it was not his first year playing, had played last year, first year playing for me. Know him very well from the program I'm in, and played extremely high level for us this year. I can't tell you enough about his commitment, okay, to what we were trying to do. Never had a bad day as far as attitude. I mean, just a perfect attitude of any player we could have had. And that would be Jeremy Adams. Scariest moment I had as a coach, I can't see. Now, I gotta tell you, all right, very nervous, and he battled through that thing like a trooper, okay? Started for us on our first string offense from day one, all right? At no point did he ever not hustle. He would have had perfect attendance, save for that one incident when he decided he had a, you know, little scary moment, all right? And I can't think of the word. Little extremely scary for me.
Like, what do you mean he can't see?
Yeah, exactly. And I come to find out, you know, little dehydration sets in and everything. I can't believe how he came through it like a trooper. Called his huddle, got everybody in line, got them out there on the field, so we were able to execute what we wanted to do offensively out there. And you know, it's a thankless position. The only person who touched the ball on every single play is your center. So, Caden Allen, get up. He played for us all, yeah, let me tell you, well, you know what, I should probably turn this one over to coach, but I'm going to go on to, when we played Hyde Park in the first round of the regionals, we were playing what's called a double wing offense. And the requirements of that double wing is they're going to want to wedge you. In order to stop that wedge, okay, you have to do what we call submarine. So that basically you put your body on the ground and allow somebody to trip over you, right? Literally. And for somebody that's like 2'3", okay, and looks up to Papa Smurf, all right, that is a tall task. No pun intended. Perfect attendance, okay, even though he was sick one time. You asked me how he was sick, yet he had perfect attendance. I don't get that either. Dad.
Yeah, Dad.
You're crazy. Where's Dad? Okay. Little Lex Watts, one of the best players. Another boy, first year I've been able to coach him, and like I was mentioning earlier when I was talking about Cameron, about having your own kid, some kids require, well, I mean, all kids, they're all knuckleheads. They require me to treat them like they're my kids. But some kids, you really gotta, you know, it requires you to intercede in a hurry, put them in line, okay? And you can only do that when you get approval from the parents, and you also just know that their personality will work with that. Their personality will work with that. And never at a loss for words. Okay, the one voice is one of the strongest boys I've ever had the pleasure of coaching at this level. Didn't always know he was that strong, but certainly played extremely powerful for us on our D-line. Gavin Cooney, where are you? This is his brother. Right away, I'm thinking you already know who it is, but actually I coached a couple of years ago. He played very well for us. Again, when your parent is a participant in an organization, it's not always the easiest thing. First practice in pads, breaks his wrist. You would think at that point, you know, maybe you rethink what didn't happen, right? Battled through anything he had to overcome by season's end due to injury. Somebody we won't mention again. He had to come out there and play on our first line offense. And I gotta tell you, for one of the undersized kids who battles, you know, it's like the battle of the three midgets over there, right? I gotta tell you, he played like a big player for us this year. I was very pleasantly surprised with how powerful he was. Very similar to his brother in strength, yet, you know, he's got a great name in half the size. And a great name. Jesse Lemenko. Takes after that. Yeah, you know, Darius. We'll bring Darius up. Where are you? Something good to say about him. I'll say this much about that. Everybody see that playoff game, that first playoff game? I'll tell you what, the refs come over to me, because, you know, a lot of these refs, they see us. They've seen us in different games that we play throughout the year. Because he hadn't played it at the beginning of the year, these coaches and these refs come over and they say, where did you find that number 27? Like as though as if we picked them up off the street. Specifically for that kid. No. We had him hidden. He was like a snowshot. We were ready for that. Darius had a great year for us. You know, next year, he's probably going to stay down. One of those other boys that, you know, due to size. And the dominance he'll have at this level next year. I look forward. I'm going to stick around and watch some of those games just to see him and Lorenko and Watts, okay, and see what they've got going on at this level. Matthew Lynch is another one, or Walsh, whatever. I don't want to confuse them over there. I specifically remember as what we had was a mixture group that year in Mighty Mike. And we played defense for us, and by season's end, it was unanimously decided that he was our best defensive back. So he came to us this year after not having played for a couple of years, and I wasn't sure where we were going to play him. And he picked right up where he had left off. You know, he likes basketball as a first option. Definitely would be, you know, defensive back of the year. Once again, we're ready to give that award out. Kickoff return touchdowns, interception return touchdowns, none bigger than the game in Coventry under the lights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And,
oh yeah, baby.
KT, get up here. He asked me, Coach, can I go to my friend? KT's in the 7th grade.
Oh yeah.
KT's in the 7th grade now. Bill Julian's in the 4th grade. KT's our oldest. He's in the 7th grade. So he says, Coach, I really,
good job, bud.
really want to go to my dance, my first dance. I guess it's one of those mixtures or whatever they call it. So we allowed him to go, but we told him the only way he could go is if he gets a smooch. KT tells us afterwards, Coach, I went with my son. He went with Coach's son. He's like, I didn't get a smooch. So, no, I mean, hey, you know? No, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. want him to think about this. There we go. Get into our veterans, two-time champion, back-to-back years for my team. If I were going to give out veteran player, most improved veteran, this player definitely comes to mind. Talking on that, 69 times getting together list. This player missed 7 times. No, you gotta understand. This family takes a vacation every year. So, he missed 6 practices in a row right there. So it was 2 incidents. And he knows when he comes back that he's going to be behind and he's just going to be asked to be a versatile player. Kind of like going on to the Boston Red Sox and being a backup infielder. You're playing third base, you're playing second base, you're playing shortstop, and you've got to be able to take that in stride. And the strides that this player made throughout the year were, I can't be more proud and more, I can't wait to see what we've got next year coming from this player. Patrick Fry, where are you? Every year when you're playing at this level of junior peewee, the reason what makes it so difficult is, and those that will return next year, you're going to witness this. You'll have a Mighty Mike white team and a Mighty Mike blue team. So each team has a quarterback. Each team has a series of, a couple of running backs on. Each team has a couple of quarterbacks. Each position already has a starter per se from each one of those teams, and then they mold into one. And of course, like with our team this year, we're bringing on Mighty Mike White and Mighty Mike Blue up to us, but I also had some returning players. Some of those players occupied spots that those guys all were coming to. So it makes it very difficult. It's very difficult for you guys as parents. Okay, you got to ride home and call your son, and explain to him. Well, I know you were, a left tackle last year, but coach wants you to be a right tackle. Okay, that's within the realm of reason. Okay, but when you go from being a quarterback, okay, to the line, sometimes that can be a thankless job. Some people embrace that better than others. If I were going to say, one of the biggest things we have to have in order to achieve what we do, everybody here knows it. How many times do we throw the ball? Not often. Okay? So the bottom line is, you've got to be able to run. In order to run, you have to get participation out of the offensive line. And usually that's 2 guys working in tandem. All right? And if I were going to give that best offensive line tandem, I would be even. And the next point I'm going to mention, which is Kobe Almeida. Kobe, get up. Next year, I expect the dominance to continue. You're going to shoot somebody else.
Good job, bro. Good job, man.
Next guy I'm going to mention, well, we were talking, I don't know how it got leaked out, but perhaps if we continue to win, we'll end up in Florida. You don't want to really get his hopes up on it. Well, this player decided to show us the dancing that he was going to do at various establishments when we got there. Okay? And played for me last year. Was a second string player for us last year. Moved up to first string for us this year. Another very strong boy. Battled through a lot of his commitment. Never missed a practice. We only got him late once, all right? Even though he was late, and I know Mom would know this, he was probably late every single day. He just wasn't late for practice. Well, finally we got him for being late. Because every practice, he came up to practice completely disheveled. Trainer. Like a trainer. Happiest kid you've ever seen in your life. So he retained the nickname of Happy Hour.
Happy hour. Happy hour.
Happy Hour. And he embraced the idea of being called Happy Hour. And I'll tell you, some kids are a pleasure to coach. He is a pleasure to coach. AJ, the Thunder. I already mentioned you can't have the success we had without the offensive line and the defensive line. Most dominant player we had at the junior preview level, right, Lex? Right, AJ? Most dominant player. The only player on the team, I can honestly say, every single time we were in drill, okay, when he was lined up, you'd see, you get a row of kids together on this side and another row on this side, and they all start to jock for position. They'll look and they'll say, I'm going to line up with that guy. And so all of a sudden you see Jeremy move this way, say, that guy lines up with that guy. Only player that, you can watch this, and this happens all the time, okay? Nobody ever purposefully lined up, and he was always trying to line up away from him, okay? I was going through a list of things. If I were to be giving out such ridiculous little awards, I was trying to write that down. I said if I was going to give out a best offensive lineman award, that would be this player. If I was going to give out a best defensive lineman award, that would be this player. So what I came up with was the verbal recognition of the best all-around lineman. TV, get up here. What?
Team. Coach. It's the coach. It's the coach. No, say the coach. Say the coach.
There is no most important. Hey, Brett, knock it off. Stop doing that.
Not far.
Well, I know he's at the table, so I'll blame him. I don't know. I should have noticed that. There is no most important position, but there is the toughest position to play. All right? And I already mentioned it earlier. There's only two people on any given football team that have their wins and losses next to their name. When you think of Tony Dorsett, Hall of Famer, all right, Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer, Jerry Rice, Hall of Famer, Lawrence Taylor, Hall of Famer, you cannot tell me how many wins either any of those players had, okay? But you can tell me how many wins Tom Brady has. You can tell me how many wins John Elway had in his career, because there's a stat for that. Same thing with coaches. Every single game that you're watching, Bill Belichick's record against the team shows up. Same with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's success against the Jack Del Rio-led team. All right? It doesn't bring up what, and, you know, we all know as football people, because we're football people, all right, that that's not really fair to John Henry, okay, and the offensive line. But it's the most difficult position to play because of the scrutiny. And the player that we had this year as a Super Bowl champion led an undefeated team, perfect attendance, very committed, Dante Wilder. Come on up. Defensive player to boot, okay? He played quarterback, safety, linebacker, D. The one award I like the best that we used to be able to give out in Mighty Mites, my oldest son won the award, and I was so proud of him. I remember sitting out there, you know, and I was just proud. And I knew it was applicable because it's called the Tough Guy Award. Tough Guy Award is indicative of this sport cannot be played. This sport cannot be played without being physical. I think if anybody here watched any of the Pee Wee game, which is where we're going, you saw, I mean, Brian witnessed it this year when he moved up. The physicality, the way you bang, okay, just the quickness you get to each spot, okay, and then the hit and the impact that takes place. It's, you know, it's what football is. It's very exciting. It's what football is. And that's, before I even get into it, Tuesday nights on the Esquire channel is a show called Friday Night Tights. Anybody see it?
Unbelievable show. Unbelievable.
You think these coaches are bad.
Oh, yeah.
But I gotta tell you, I like the show. All right? Actually, Coach Jack, we all watched it. Coach Jack said, send that out to the parents to give them an idea of what is coaching football is. We have to prepare these kids. We have to prepare these kids because the other coaches out there are preparing their boys, okay, to run into our boys. And there's one boy on our team that overwhelmingly, play in and play out, carried an air of toughness to him that was very impressive. My only first-year up player to be named by his peer group, team captain, Nate Reed, get up here. Team captains got voted on by their peer group. I went around, I asked each player on the team, who do you want as team captain for the year? Various kids got a lot of votes, and so each one of you that did should be proud of yourself. But in the end, the kids with the most votes are the ones that we were comfortable with, and because of the respect that they have of their teammates. This player has struggled through a lot of, like when I talk about position change and positions, sometimes you feel more comfortable in a certain position, but what's best for the team may not be that position. I coach baseball. You take your best shortstop, okay? He's fantastic. He can field anything, he can fire the ball across the field. He might be your best glove on the team. If you don't have somebody that can catch the ball over at first base, then he can't be your shortstop. He's going to be your first baseman. Because anybody can throw the ball across the field. So sometimes where somebody may be best suited, okay, isn't where they're going to play on this team, or any team. So they have to take that in stride. And to still remain, probably took the loss that we had for the second year in a row the hardest, okay? And I couldn't be more proud of him for being sad for losing, okay? But the way he went through it, very proud of him. Dominic Martin, you know. Terror Twins. Does anybody here know who the Terror Twins were? No, that's all right. It's 80s here being rock. Does that help?
Nope. No drum like.
They played the guitar. No?
Nope.
Okay, well, anyway.
You're white, right?
You don't know who the Terror Twins were?
Tom's twins?
Don't even tell me the notion bag.
No, that's Nelson. I just used Terror Twins when I just threw that out. It popped right to my mind. Steve Clark and Phil Collins. Yeah, Flappin'?
Yeah.
Terror Twins? Because that two guitarists were called Terror Twins. But anyway, we had a couple of players left, obviously Ethan and Brett. And they dominated our backfield for us all year. Okay? And one was Hollywood and the other was California. You know, pretty boys all the way through and through. But their dominance was very impressive. Last year in our run, and I know some of you weren't here, but it was the 5 parents that were, some of the other dads who had sons on the team. Last year in our run in the playoffs, Ethan Laramie scored 6 touchdowns in 2 games. 2 games, just complete dominant performance. And I knew last year, he didn't stop for us last year. It was one of those situations where Jeremy got hurt. Oh no, you weren't on that team.
He's like, what?
And, so, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I don't know about you. So, he came in and he played fantastic for us, Dylan. You know what I'm saying, Dylan? He was playing fantastic for us. And I couldn't be happier to have him back this year. I look forward to having him back next year. Along with KT in the defensive backfield, they would have been a couple of Terror Twins with Brett in the offensive backfield, another couple of Terror Twins. Ethan Laramie, get up here. Team captain. good because that's my role. I need to say something good. And, well, you know, I had mentioned earlier, does everybody remember the one guy that nobody wanted to go up against in practice? Who did I mention?
You were ready.
Who did I mention that nobody wanted to? Tegan. So one of those little pretty boys, Hollywood for all intents and purposes. I think in practice, I think Coach's dad knows too. The one time that boy Tegan took a wallop, I don't remember. Tegan remembers. I don't know if he woke up though. I see it here today. All right. There was one guy that put a pretty good wallop on him. And I gotta say, as much as I love Tegan, I was proud because that boy was my son. And you know, we have the flash and dash over here, but you know, the guy who was really pounding people, especially towards the season's end when we needed him most, and was voted on by the coaches. I had no vote in it. He earned what we consider in PAL our biggest honor. And every year I got the right as a coach to hand out what's considered the Sportsmanship of the Year award. And it's the highest honor that we got in PAL. And I usually refuse to vote for my own kid. And I put the nix on it last year. So, but this year I couldn't deny it. And I agreed with the coaches. So Brett, come on up here, big fella. Our coaching staff. For everybody here, Coach Nate did the most work of any coach here. Coach Nate does not have a child on this team.
Thank goodness.
He doesn't like kids. If he was here, that's why Coach Jack did tell me that he had to pay twice for this jacket. I had each one of the kids sign this nice thing, and wherever the big one is, and I'm going to frame it later on, that way there, each one of you gets a big one.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Coach Tom coaching the other team. Mighty White team. After his practice, he would come over and help out with ours. When we always had practice when they didn't, so it didn't matter. His wife was getting sick of him spending time down at the field. So she put together a tent in the back. Nobody saw it. Coach Tom. I don't know what happened. You know, what can I say? He didn't know anything about football. He still doesn't. Well, he knows how to buy drinks, so we let him on the team. You know he's gonna go there. You know, white women. And we all know when you're doing something like that, especially prime time working hours or during the summertime, to give up that time and come along. What you're looking for when you need somebody to come along and help you out, what you're looking for is really you want somebody that comes without an ego. You don't want when somebody comes along and wants to help you out and do something, you don't want to meet their ego first. And Johnny came right along and he was able to come along and do whatever it is that we wanted him to do. I embrace that. I really thank you. And just like we thought, I wanted to give out an extra one for somebody that really helped us out a lot. And next year, she was in training for being like team mom next year. Usually does whatever I tell her. That's pretty good. Teresa. I appreciate everything she did. I was looking for a gift to get her. They didn't have any more Denver Bronco gnomes. So, you know, I said, forget it. I'll wait till they're on sale.
No, you guys listen to us. That's how it works.
On behalf of the parents, we're talking!
Yes, we're
And our turn, and thank you for your time and your dedication, because it takes a lot to deal with everybody, and us.
especially you.
You're on your sideline, I'm on your sideline.
Oh, you hurt? Go sit down on the bed for an hour.
But we figured we'd take you to something to go along with the state champion jackets. So, I know what it is.
Oh, wait.
Johnny, Johnny, we have one for you. We have one. Jesse, take him out.
Go, Jesse! Go, Jesse!
Come on.
Where we're bright, guys!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We have a nice video package Coach Nate put together. It's good for about, what, 47 minutes?
47 minutes long. But here's the thing.
Kids, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna be quiet.